Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It's Lynn Renee McDonald for Practical Spirituality Live here in Virginia Beach. Um, Today, Spirit is guiding me to talk to you about spiritual teachers and to tell you that there are so many misconceptions and belief systems and strange shit going on out there in earth world reality about spiritual people, spiritual teachers, energy healers, psychics, and whatever you have it, any type or form of spiritual being. There's a lot of stuff that isn't the God's honest truth that is circulating as the status quo of what the belief system is out here in earth world. So when I say circulating, all right, it's like a belief system, like when people think sex is bad, kind of a thing, or kind of like taboo stuff. Like one of the biggest things that I know is I have this one client, to give you an idea of what I'm talking about here. He sees me as his spiritual teacher, and he says to me, "I can't believe you say stuff like this." Like one of the biggest things is that I curse. All right, so spiritual teachers shouldn't curse, which is bullshit. So many times the most gifted spiritual beings will curse, and part of the reason for that, a big part of the reason for that, is because cursing is an earth world reality idea of what's bad or what's not. Like cursing is a belief system that belief is that cursing is bad in earth world reality for a lot of people. Okay. Ooh. Give me my sage. So, all right. So that's to give you one idea. Okay. And we're going to talk about all kinds of stuff like that within spirituality and spiritual teachers and the truths, the God's honest, authentic truth about all this stuff, because so many people have all these misconceptions about what a guru is, or what a spiritual teacher is, or what they should be, or if you're taking classes with somebody, or you have somebody who's your teacher for now, or whatever. The truth of the matter is there's truths in everything, and on wellnesses and everything as well. And you're a spiritual teacher, all right, and spiritual stuff also has unwellnesses, and which is basically belief systems in earth world society that are toxic and are not the God's honest truth. For example, like I just mentioned, cursing. People think that cursing is bad, right? And that's way back in society times and belief systems that they believe that is bad. When really it has a meaning. Absolutely, every word has multiple meanings, multiple intents, depending on what you put into the energy you put into it, and where you're directing it, and what you're saying, and how you use it in a sentence, right? Okay, so the same is true of cursing. If I say, "Hey, fuck it," meaning, what does that mean? Fuck it means, hey, it's all good, I don't care, it's all good, right? But if I say, "Hey, fuck you," that's different from saying fuck it, or oh fuck. Oh fuck is a totally different meaning, right? So anyways, this is just to give you ideas of how belief systems and the way of doing things in earth world. There's an earth world belief system here, all right, and many people employ that belief system based on the stuff that goes on in their souls, and it becomes apparent out here in reality. Like one time I did this class, I think this was in Elkton, Maryland. I do classes there almost every year, classes, workshops, and things like that, and I teach it. I usually have a shit ton of people in my class, which is great. But the second I walked in there this year, I was like, hey, because they give out an evaluation sheet. So, and it's nice to know if they like your classes. So they give that, out as part of their package that they do. And I think it's in Elkton College. So one of the things that I say to people is, as you all know me, you know that I curse, okay? Many spiritually gifted people will do that because everything is a habit, pattern, and belief, and it's a belief system, okay, that governs what is good for you or what is unwell for you. And so when you become in the highest form of love, really stuff like that doesn't even really matter. Things like cursing, they're just another word for adjectives in earth world reality, just like when you describe a color of something, or or the way somebody is, or, they're just adjectives, all right? But how you employ the unwellness or wellness into that word is what really governs what the meaning and what the energy that comes out of that word and what you're putting out there into universe truly authentically is, okay? So that's a little bit about cursing, all right? So it's most and many and all spiritual teachers will curse, okay? At some point in their life or another, they will. Some employ that more than others. Of course, the more religious ones, based on their belief systems, believes that cursing is really, really bad stuff. Many religious ones do that, not all, okay? All right, so many people will say that. And again, it's a belief system. Everything is a habit, pattern, and belief system. So the same is true with cursing when you curse. The other thing is, for you guys to know, but let me just get back into talking about Elkton first here, because my event at Elkton, I went in there and I said, hey, my name is Lynn Renee McDonald. I'm here to teach this class. I'm just going to give you a heads up. I do curse. So if any of you don't like it, there's the door, and it's funny because so many people filled out the questionnaire, and for the most part, everything everybody said was fantastic. But then there are always those few people who are like, oh, this girl doesn't need to curse to get her message across. Yeah. And I get that, and I heard that, and I know that. Or this girl, I wish she wouldn't curse, right? That's people's shit, all right? If you come to my lectures and you listen to me on YouTube, you know that what I speak is the God's honest truth, okay? This is how it rolls, okay? This is how it rolls according to the highest form of love that exists in this reality. I'm not saying that all they care about is cursing. What I'm saying here is that the highest form of love has belief systems within it, and they either work for people or they don't, and they're based on everybody's own stuff in their soul. And cursing is one of those issues that goes back to the beginning of time and is all geared up in religious and all kinds of other junk that is made in man-made society that makes you freak out when people use those words for lifetimes, because there comes an unwellness in earth world reality with this, okay? All right, that people believe in. And if you don't believe it, then you don't employ it, then it's not a bad thing, okay? Like a lot of people will come to my classes and they love my classes and they love how candid I am and how frank I am. And because the truth is, this is real spirituality. This is practical spirituality. And the truth is, and this is why we're talking about my cursing, is because the truth is, I'm a real fucking person. I'm a super high vibing, super advanced energy teacher of Christ consciousness and love energy in its purest form, right? And I fucking curse. That's right. Okay. And okay, the reason I'm telling you this is because this is the truth. The truth is we're real people. We are real people. I'm a real person. You're a real person. People have these misconceptions about gurus and spiritual teachers and people who meditate, they get in the zone. Truth is, I rarely meditate. When I'm meditating, I'm doing it in my sleep. I'm like semi-conscious, and I feel that for the most part. Okay. What I do, and that's not because meditation is bad, because not everybody has to meditate. Not everybody has to curse either. You feel in your heart what is best for you from love. And if you don't think it's right, you bring it to source and you ask God, what's the God's honest truth here? Should I be doing this? Should I not? Is this coming from the best place of love? What's going on here? Tell me so I understand and know from love and do the right thing from love, which is the best and purest place of God's honest, unconditional love, truth, and wisdom, which isn't the right thing. It is the best thing from love. Okay. That's what the right thing is always. Okay. So you know what that is as well. Okay. So back to the spiritual stuff. So not everybody has to meditate. And if you feel like you do and you connect with that and you connect in that space, I get people who come to me and they're like, well, I haven't meditated enough and I feel really bad. Don't feel bad. That's your belief that you have to meditate. That's your belief system that tells you, I feel bad because I'm not meditating. That's bullshit. If you're not feeling called to it, you don't do it. But if you feel bad, you ask Spirit to clear that you feel bad about it. The consciousness in that is that. Do you see? And ask God to be free of it. All right? That's simple. Okay? So the truth is about spiritual teachers, not all of them meditate. Okay? So there's a fact number 2 with love energy that is God. All right? If you want to use facts, like if I say fact, like people think of facts as science, I call it love. You could say love energy facts. Facts of universal law, everything based in earth world reality vibration, coming from up here, the truth, the God's honest, authentic truth source that gives me the answers for this earth world reality and all time and anything and everything, because that's where they are. And you must balance them in this earth world. Just like I get all this information from here, I have to be able to speak to you and explain it and communicate all the information that I get, because everything is energy. And as an energy teacher, if I can't explain this to you in earth world, I'm not really a good teacher. teacher. It's kind of like your classes in school. If you're failing your classes in school and everybody else in the class is failing this class or all your classes, then you have to take a look at the teacher and say, hey, something's up. Something's not well with this teacher, and in this context, if in the context of this whole classroom, if everybody is failing, okay? So we're talking about this for all these reasons, because you have to take a look at all of these things when you look at your real life, practical earth world reality stuff, and your spiritual teachers, spiritual teachings, and everything in your world, okay? So in this space, and if you think you're failing because you're failing, let's say with using the class thing as an example, if you think you're failing, you ask, and you are failing, then you ask Spirit to clear, heal, and change that, and whatever it is. But a spiritual teacher has to be able to communicate with you what the hell they're talking about, and so that you understand it, not just one person, all people. How do you do that if you don't know how? You ask God that you do. You ask God that it's fun. You ask God that you're the best of the best that you could ever possibly be in this reality, at everything you do, from the highest vibe of love. And in this world, all worlds, all creation, all time, and all that is, highest, best, and purest place of God's honest, unconditional love, truth, and wisdom, in this reality and any reality and all that is. And thank you, God, for that for us. And the best way for us and all are something better, see? So you create what you want to be, who you want to be the best teacher you are. So if there's a deficit there and nobody's getting in the class, or the class is really boring, these are all things to look at when you're looking at a spiritual teacher. If they don't draw you in, they don't capture you, and you may not be ready for what they have to say, okay? And I've had plenty of people who come to me and then they're like, yeah, I think I'm in the wrong place. And I'm like, go, find it in your heart. When you're ready, you'll be back. When you're ready for what I have to teach, then you will be back, or what Spirit teaches through me. Okay. So there's lots of things to look at here, but a spiritual teacher has to be able to communicate, because many times, and I ran into this today, many times people do not know how to communicate in earth world reality. And it doesn't matter how much wisdom you have, how many gifts you have here, if you can't convey it to the people. Communication is super, super important, super powerful. So this is true in spiritual teachings as well, okay? And with spiritual people, okay? You will know by the teacher and what happens in the class, if they have a big following, or they have a following and people love them and they're really good at what they do, you will feel it in your heart. That's another thing you want to know about spiritual stuff. Even if somebody else says, oh, I'm not into their stuff, or I don't like them, or I don't care for this teacher, or I don't care for that, you follow your heart. Your heart guides you to every answer, everything that you need for you that is best for you. Your soul, your highest heart self, working with Spirit, already knows the answers and created this for you. People create me as their teacher all the time. This is what we do. I did this when I was growing and learning too, and I'm always growing and learning. And the difference is Spirit said to me, hey, I'm your teacher now. And they said this years ago, and every moment I'm learning, and I'm talking to Spirit all the time, and I'm learning and I'm growing. And this is the truth about spiritual teachers. You're either stopped in the space that you are, or you keep on growing. If you outgrow your teacher, you're going to know, because all of a sudden it's not going to feel good and it's time to move on. It means your teacher is stuck, or you have outpassed them and it's time for a new teacher. Okay. Now they may be stuck, or they're in a place that's not well for you. You move on. Okay. So this is the truth again about spiritual beliefs, systems, and beings. All because somebody is your teacher now, 20 years from now, you may be so far past them, or 5 days from now, depending on how much you work with love energy that is God, how you will excel into your greatest you and your spiritual journey of enlightenment, and at what level you want to take it to. Okay. So know this also about spiritual stuff. Okay. The other thing is we talked about meditation. What else, Spirit, do you want us to talk to everybody about in terms of spiritual misconceptions? And, here's a big one. They are telling me, and they tell me this all the time. Let me just see here. Okay, so there's a belief system here that spiritual teachers, there's a couple of belief systems here they're showing me, that when somebody is unwell to them, that they should back away from love and not handle it from love and let it go from love and just let people shit all over them. And that is fucking not the truth. Spiritual teacher, no spiritual teacher, whoever you are as an energy being of love, you don't allow people to shit on you. And that's the truth about spiritual teachers. You shouldn't just lay down and die if somebody is nasty to you. People believe that spiritual teachers should always come from like some kind of fucking warped time zone of love that just is love and is so much love that it doesn't do to protect and take care of itself. But if you look at nature, it's a perfect reflection of how important it is. And the truth is that you must protect yourself. You must honor you. You must respect you. And that's what all spiritual teachers, in the truth of it is, should be doing for themselves. So if somebody says something nasty or unwell to them, I'm going to bring it right to source. I'm going to say, okay, love, God, love energy, handle this through me now and speak through me from love to answer this question, to speak to these people, to handle this situation from the highest form of love. Therefore, I am always in the best place of God's honest, unconditional love, truth, and wisdom as a human being on this earth world planet, as a soul connected to source. And I'm always in that love energy space. I'm not going to lie down and die if somebody comes to me and says some nasty ass shit. I'm going to be, excuse me? I'm going to say, hey, man. Hey, I'm like, and I'm going to ask Spirit to speak through me from love to handle the situation. All right. So when people say to me nasty things, all right, like I have in the past, I think I've talked about situations like with my mom or people that I know who are toxic to me at different times, at different occasions. And sometimes they will call me on the phone. And before they even call me, I'm like, God, answer this call now, please, because I see who it is. I see the confrontation, all right, with my gifts with Spirit or in unwellness coming. So I pick up the phone, and before I answer that phone, I say, God, please speak through me from love to this person, all right? And then Spirit will handle it from love through you, and the whole thing will dissipate from love, okay? Because you're working with love energy to handle everything and anything in your life. And that is where all gurus, all spiritual teachers should be. And what they should be doing is working with source 24/7. Not all of them are. Another misconception. Everybody thinks that the spiritual teachers are these high energy beings, and they're amazing beings, and they are rightfully so. But it doesn't mean that they're all well. It doesn't mean that they're all in this space with God. These are all huge misconceptions of unwellnesses that we have in our earth world society of what people think spiritual teachers should be. And it's not the God's honest truth. Spiritual people are spiritual teachers are people too. They're here in earth world reality for their own experiences, just like when I talked about my love life in the last video and how I got all caught up in this guy that I still love today. But I know that I've released him and I can't do that anymore from love for me, right? Okay, so the truth is spiritual people, we are real people. We're human beings, and they're going to make mistakes and they're going to make errors. But if you go to source all the time, from the highest source of love, and you work in the space all the time, really, there is no errors. There's no such thing as errors or unwellnesses because you ask God to be free of them, because you're working with Spirit all the time. You always draw on love in its highest form to speak through you, to live your greatest life, to do everything with you. So you mesh and become one within that highest form of love energy space if you're in the most authentic space of spiritual teacher. And this is how you create everything in your life. And then there is no wrong. There is no unwellness. There is no of these unwell, less than beliefs, because that's what all that is. And really the truth is there is no wrong. There absolutely is no wrong. The wrong is what you believe is wrong. And same is true for anything and everything. It is all what you believe. Okay, so again, these are all misconceptions that people have about spiritual teachers, that they lay down and die and should come from love with everything. And you do come from love, but it's not in the way that earth world reality thinks. I ask love to handle things through me. And sometimes they'll literally tell people to fuck off, right? And I'll be like, wow, I can't believe that came out of my mouth. Yeah, I'm a spiritual teacher, but yup, I'm a person too, all right? And if I'm guided by Spirit to say that, that is because Spirit guides me to speak to people in a language that they understand. Sometimes I'll get off the phone with some people, like our clients or people I know or business people or whatever it is, and I'll speak pretty rough to them, and I'll be like, holy shit. I'm like, I'm supposed to be the spiritual teacher. I can't believe that I just said that. And then Spirit says to me, stop. And they say to me, hey, you must speak to people sometimes in a language that they understand. And you so that means I have to get into their vibration, their space, and speak to them in a way that they understand. And sometimes that means saying fuck you to people, okay? Just so you know. And even as a spiritual being, spiritual teacher, spiritual healer, spiritual person, this is the space of real world spirituality and real world spiritual beliefs, authentic, God's honest truth, okay? So because you're a spiritual teacher doesn't mean you're going to walk on water. And it doesn't mean you're going to walk on water 24/7, okay? Because I can assure you that Christ was not even close to the being that everybody puts him up here on a pedestal based on their crazy, unwell earth world society beliefs. There is no doubt Christ had the perfect formula and was super amazing, but he too was human. okay, was in earth world reality. And if you read up on him, you listen to him speak and quotes about him, and you'll know exactly what he's saying is the truth. Okay, he will tell you himself that he too is in earth world reality. I think there's one story that really is neat about, and I think it might be in one of the books that I read about him, where he says that he cursed the tree and he kicked it, and he knew that the wrath of God was coming for him in earth world reality. All right, now not all stories that you hear are truth, and not all in the Bible is truth as well. All right, there's truth in everything, as there is in this world. Everything reflects itself to itself. So everything has truths and everything has wellnesses and unwellnesses. The thing is, you got to work on your stuff with love and come from love to find the greatest, best, highest, purest, best, healthiest answer for you with everything and all that is. So today's video was all about this stuff. Oh, and the other thing that people also believe in earth world reality is they don't believe in sending unwell energy back to people. And there are some times that you have to do that. And I use this saying quite often, okay? When people bring shit to my table, I take their shit and I whale it back to them, because I don't have the fucking time of day to deal with people who are unwell and not in a positive, healthy love energy space, who bring their crap to me. Many times it's because they're looking for a spiritual teacher on a soul level, and that's why they do that, okay? But I cannot allow people to waste my time, not be on time, call or not call and say they're going to call, and all this crazy shit that is not honoring, not respecting, not coming from the purest place of love for me, and within themselves they're doing the same thing. And I know that, but I cannot allow that. If I allow that into my reality, it comes and seeps in everywhere, because it's in here, and I must address it in my soul and clear, heal, and change that. Okay. All right. So many times people think that spiritual people shouldn't send unwell energy to people. And I'm not creating the unwell energy. They already created it to me and threw it at me. Any kind of jealousy, hatred, resentment, unwellness, garbage, cheating, cheating meaning trying to take shit from people, anything that's less than the highest form of love that is thrown at me with spirit in the karmic realm or the realm of law of universe is okay to send back to people. But I always tell people, you better be in this space when you do it, spiritual teacher or not, or wherever space you are on in your journey, okay? Because we're really all teachers, and we're really all teaching each other. It's fucking amazing. I learned so much from my people, just as much as they learn from me. And as spirit speaks through me, I'm learning too. It's like people call me up and they ask me questions. I'm like, oh my God, is that how it really works, God? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, holy fuck, right? Because this is who we are. We all have these connections, okay? So this is all amazing stuff for you. All right, from this love energy space that we channel into from the highest form of Christ consciousness that exists in this reality, any reality, and all that is, okay? And so when I send energy back to people, I'm going to give you an earth world nature reality, okay? Because nature is a really great example of love for itself in the purest form, okay? A lion. I love lions. I'm a lion people, okay? All right? So as many of you know, all right, a lion, if you threaten him, okay, if you threaten him and or his family, just like a hunter comes to him and threatens him and keeps coming, he's going to stand up and he's not going to allow you to come further because he feels that you're a threat, right? But never is a lion going to lay down and die without you shooting him to death, because he's going to stand up for himself from love, his family from love, his space from love. That's what love does. And this is why this is so important, because as energy beings of love and light, you shouldn't, in the healthiest, best form of love energy that is God and purest self-love, all right, that's where the lion is coming from. He's standing up for him, speaking his truth, living his truth, and he will do so until he dies. No matter what kind of gun, weapon, or however much you threaten him, he's going to just follow his heart, his intuitive gifts, his guide from spirit, as in that lying being that he is, okay? This is how we're all designed and have this. Where we don't do this is when we have unwellnesses in our soul, whether spiritual teacher or spiritual being, because we're all really spiritual beings and teachers, like I said, whatever you are, and in your spiritual space, this is about self-love, really. But it is also a very huge thing that you should notice, or quality that you should notice about your spiritual teacher, because your spiritual teacher is going to be able to handle all situations in the healthiest way from love. All right. And if you run into a crossroads where they're not, you can you bring it to source and ask source what to do from love. And if it happens more than once, remember 3 is the number of active God. Moving on, Father, Son, Holy Spirit, change. Okay, move on. But I always say bring everything to source, so you know if you should send that energy back or not, especially if you're learning and growing, and we all are. But you will become comfortable and you know what to do and when to do it, because the higher you vibrate, the more you automatically become connected to this love energy, and you just do from that space, and they create from that space for you. It's kind of like walking out on a plank, or if you ever seen Indiana Jones, where like he walks across the thing and he has to have faith and the stones come up under his feet. Same kind of thing. Spirit will put everything you need right in front of you. The higher you vibrate, you don't even have to ask anymore, and the things that you can do are fucking amazing. So once again, the more you work from this place with love, the more spiritually amazing you become in all ways, in all areas of your life, be it earth world and spiritual space, because they're really all meshing and they're really all the same thing. Okay. Same thing, meaning, but you want to be in this highest form of love and balance it in this earth world reality, which is also a part of that highest form of love, but it is not the same vibrational space. So you have to balance this with this. So this video was a lot of learning about a lot of different things intertwined with the truth about spiritual teachers, that they are real people. I'm a real person too. I have a journey within myself, as well as Eckhart Tolle or any other teachers out there have, at whatever levels they're at. Okay, they all have personal shit that they have to work on for themselves, and it's their part of their journey, along with their huge collective consciousness journey here to change the world. Okay, so this is to give you the God's honest truth about a whole bunch of spiritual beliefs that are not the God's honest truth that run around out there, and you always feel in your heart what the truth is. Okay, all right, and always ask source, ask love energy, communicate with love, so that you get your best and purest answers from love. Thanks God for the God's honest truth about what's going on here. All right, that's what you do. All right, ask for that. Okay, today is Thursday. This weekend, tomorrow, I'm going to be in Maryland for super high vibing energy work day. I got a lot of clients out there who I'm going out there to a personal home. If you want an appointment, please do call me. My number should be on there. If not, you can find it on my Facebook pages. 757-816-3134. Text me if you want an appointment for tomorrow. That is Friday, February 22nd. Saturday and Sunday, I will be in Raleigh, North Carolina at the Body, Mind, Spirit Expo. So we're doing a lot of traveling this weekend. And I'm doing a free event on past lives that weekend. I'm not sure. I think it might be Sunday. It might be Saturday though. But look up on their site. I'm sure you'll be able to find me. I'll be with Rosie Stars. She's a love bug too, a Christ consciousness, and she makes amazing art. In fact, it's spiritual art, really. These amazing energy pieces. Here's one of them right here. Okay, and you can also get them at my shopping center. Spirit's like, oh, you just need to wear this one for a while. It's super cool. Has so many gifts. Galactical and purest Christ consciousness is in this one. Fucking amazing stuff. There are so many amazing beings in this world, and I'm just like so happy to be here. All right, thanks God. Thanks you guys. Much love. Do subscribe. Do share my shit all over the place, meaning my videos. All right, anything you want to share about Spirit with me or Spirit through me. All right, and much love. I love you guys. And ask me any questions you want, and we will see you next week or over the weekend at these shows and events. And have a great weekend. Thanks. All right. Bye-bye.